Hello and welcome. So in this video I want to introduce Backtrader, a Python library for backtesting trading strategies. What you're seeing here is the documentation of Backtrader, which is written quite clearly and as a bonus is also entertaining. The Quickstart guide is very helpful but might be a bit overwhelming in the first place. So before we are going over the example in the Quickstart guide, I will go over the basic functionality of Backtrader and then implement a simple crossover strategy. After that, I will go over the code in the Quickstart guide to give you kind of a helping hand understanding the code block, saving you some time and energy. So we are starting with the base logic of using the library. Let's switch over to Jupyter Notebook. As you see, we need some libraries. Backtrader, of course. Before that, we have to make sure that it is installed. We need datetime and we need Finance to pull stock prices from the internet. If you are using Jupyter Notebook, you have to also add this line here, otherwise the notebook will crash. First of all, we are instantiating Cerebro, which is just the name of the class handling everything for Backtrader. So we are defining Cerebro here, use bt Cerebro, and got a Cerebro instance here. First, we are going to add a data feed to this Cerebro. And I'm using Finance to pull stock price data for Apple. So I'm just storing that in a variable df for data frame, use yf download. Just take Apple as an example, and I'm going back until 2010 here. With this, I'm ending up with the data frame like this. You should be familiar with this kind of data. It's just open, high, low, close data. All right. And now I want to feed this data to my Cerebro instance. Before that, I have to create a feed, just naming that feed here. Use bt feeds, pandas data, as this is a pandas data frame, and provide my df. Now I can just add that to my Cerebro instance here, use add data and provide the feed. And with that, I've already everything to run Cerebro and plot it. And you will just see that we are getting the stock price development for Apple here. Nothing more than that, because we didn't define a trading strategy yet, right? Anyhow, some explanations here. So this is our broker account development, and as we are not doing any trades, it is a constant here. As you see, the default broker value is 10 grand. Here you would see the positive and negative trades. So blue marks are positive trades, red marks are negative trades. And here you would see flags in case a trade is being triggered here. So let's add a trading logic to this construct here, right? But this is the main logic how Cerebro is working, right? Adding data, then adding a strategy, running it, and then plotting it. So we are going to add a strategy here. And I'm just taking the strategy from this hello algo trading section here. This is just a crossover strategy. So we need to copy paste that here and just create a class here. Okay, this part is optional, we don't need it. So let's keep it simple here. So a class where you are defining a trading strategy is always looking the same. You are inheriting from BT strategy, and in the constructor, you're defining your parameters, so your technical indicators. And in the next method, you're defining the trading logic. So in this example, I'm defining fast simple moving average. Let's just take over 50 days, or time steps, which are days in this case, and a slow simple moving average, which is, let's say, 100 days. And as you see, Backtrader has already a crossover function here, so we can just define self-crossover as the crossover of the fast and slow simple moving average here. In the next method, we have the logic. So if we are not in a position and the crossover is larger than 0, we want to buy. And if the crossover is smaller than 0, we want to close the position here, right? So again, parameters, trading logic, always the same for Backtrader. So once we have defined our strategy here, we can just add the strategy to our Cerebro instance. So we are just taking Cerebro, add strategy, and then provide our SMA cross class here. So let's instantiate again, add the data, then the strategy, run it and plot it. And now that looks like a trading strategy, right? So let me go over it. So as you see, this is our development of the brokerage account, and we made some very slight profit. I'm going over why we only made $100 with an investment of 10 grand. But anyhow, you see the broker account development here. Here you see the positive trades here. So these are the blue marks, and the negative trades are the red marks here. And you also see the flags where we are entering and exiting a position. And additionally, you see the moving average lines as well. All right. So why do we only get $100 profit here? Because by default, we're just buying one share of Apple. So we want to invest a share of our brokerage account into Apple instead, right? So let's say we are just investing 50%, which is quite a high number, of our brokerage account into Apple, and then this will look a bit different. So let's actually do that. We can do that by adding a sizer to the strategy using Cerebro. Add sizer, then BT sizers, percent sizer. You can also, so these are relative numbers. You can also buy like 20 Apple shares instead. It's just an example. There are so many possibilities to do individual configurations here, but this is just buying 50% of your accounts, so roughly 5 grand into Apple every time a signal is occurring. So let's run this and plot this, and now we see we're getting way more profit, right? Out of 10 grand we made 34 grand here, right? So these stay the same, of course, right? Now, what else can you add here? So you can add commissions here. So let's actually do that. You can just let's just take that here, Cerebro, then broker, set commission, and let's just take 0.5%. I think the author of the library was also taking that. So let's take a look, and as you see, we are diminishing our profit here, but still got a lot of profit with this strategy. Let's move over to, let me cover one more thing here. So you can add analyzers to your strategy, which is actually quite helpful. And I'm showing you one example, but there are many more analyzers you can check out, right? I'm just giving you the annual return for this strategy. So how does it work? We could just add an analyzer here, use bt.analyzers, annual return, give it a name, a return, run it, plot it, and then you have to store it somewhere. So just taking test strat here, and then I'm just sticking to the notations the library author was using. So I'm taking test strat, analyzes a, how did I name it? A return, and get analysis, and then you will get the annual return of this strategy in the dictionary. So 2010 we made 6%, 2011 we made 3%, 18.5, 2012, and so on. All right, so this is how analyzers are working. There are many more possibilities here, just to give you an idea how you can do that. Okay, so let's move on to the Quickstart guide, in specific this chapter. Broker says, show me the money. I'm just taking this chapter because if you got this code block, you will understand the following modifications from the author as well. So I'm just going to copy paste this block here and go through it with you together. So we have a strategy as we had before, right? So we have a class with a strategy name, which is inheriting from bt.strategy. This method is just, in easier words, is just printing out stuff. So based on a certain event. So whenever this is called in the following up methods, something is being printed out, nothing more than that, right? So for example, a buying event, a selling event, and so on. The constructor is working as before. So we have parameters here. In this case, we only have the close price as a parameter. Why? Because the trading logic or the strategy is just, and we can just scroll to the next method, because this is always the method containing the trading strategy logic itself. The strategy here in the next method is just if the current close is less than the previous close, and also if the previous close is less than the previous close, then we want to buy, right? So our close price or our close is just the only parameter we need, and this is why we have defined it in the constructor. Additionally, there are some initial settings like setting the order to none, the initial buy price to none, and the initial buy commission to none. And this function is simply checking the status of an order. So if we have that the order is being submitted or accepted, we just want to exit this function. So if you are returning from a function or method and this is triggered, you are just exiting the function. But if the order status is completed, we wanna, if that's a buying order, wanna print out buy executed and then pass the order executed price, value, and commission. And we are also setting the buy price to the executed price and the buy commission to the executed commission. If it's a selling order, same logic for sell. And this is now very important. So this is capturing at which point the order has been executed. And as Backtrader is working with an iteration logic, is just capturing the length of the current object. So as an example, if this buying order is being triggered after 2 days, the length of the object would be 2 days. And we would have captured, hey, the buy executed is the second bar here. Or in other words, the second row, if you imagine it as a data frame. All right, this is important here because the selling logic is that we check when when we have to sell is just when now. So let's say we are at the fifth row, when now is larger than the row where we have executed the buy plus 5. So we are holding, in other words, we are holding the assets for at least 5 days or at least 5 bars. And this is how the length of the object is working. So you always have to imagine it as a row of a data frame, what we are working with. All right. So this is basically the most important thing to understand, because next he's just setting, where it is parameters, he's just setting an exit bar parameter, for example, and then is just adding that to this, so that you have kind of a minimum holding period here, right? So yeah, this is important to understand. And yeah, the rest of the code is quite self-explanatory, or is explained with the author's comments here. So let's finally just run this strategy again. So instantiating Cerebro, adding data. So let's pull Microsoft data this time. add the data to Cerebro. Add the strategy. And now when we're running this, you will see all the logging here, right? So for instance, buy create, buy executed, price, cost, commission, and so on. And now let me just quickly explain you this holding period thing again. So you see when we are buying it, we are holding it for at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars here, right? And if I would change the code, just changing the bars here to 2, our holding period would change here. So I'm just executing that again, running that again, and now we see when we bought, we only hold that for 2 days. All right. And yeah, so this was my introduction. Want more on Backtrader? Let me know in the comments below. We could, e.g., construct one of the strategy I already covered from scratch. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful, insightful, or whatever. And I thank you all much for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing the upcoming videos. Bye bye.